Okay, so first one, let's review the old lesson first. I have 7 questions here. Let's see whether you can answer these 7 questions or not. Okay. Okay, so you read the question first. When I call your name, please unmute yourself and answer my questions. Okay. Let's see you remember the old lesson or not. So the first question, what molecule does saliva start to digest? And why is it important to begin digestion of this molecule in the oral cavity? Bùi Hữu Nghĩa, can you hear me? Bùi Hữu Nghĩa, can you unmute yourself and answer my question? No. Châu Văn Hiền Nhân, are you there? Châu Văn Hiền Nhân, one more time, are you there? Say hello to the teacher. Chu Quang Thắng. Đàn Thị Giáng, are you still there? Please, when I call your name, unmute yourself and say hello. Can you hear me, everyone? Please unmute yourself and say hello to the teacher. Can you hear me?
Hello, teachers.
Okay, thank you. So you can hear me. Okay, so into the lesson, I will call some of you to answer the questions. So when you hear your names, okay, please unmute yourself and answer my question. Okay. Các bạn ơi, khi nào các bạn nghe thầy gọi tên thì mình unmute, mở mic lên và trả lời câu hỏi của thầy ha. Bữa nay mình sẽ tương tác chứ không phải thầy nói không, các bạn nghe tên của mình lập tức mở mic và trả lời. Okay. So first one I say again, Bùi Hữu Nghĩa, are you there? Những bạn khác nếu mà thầy không gọi tên đến thì làm ơn tắt mic để lớp mình không bị ồn. Bạn nào mà thầy gọi tên thì mới mở mic thôi. Bạn nào thầy không bật tên thôi.
Cái ổ mic mở trong tay.
Tắt mic. Rồi thầy gọi lại Bùi Hữu Nghĩa có không? Châu Văn Hiền Nhân. Bùi Đăng Khoa. Các bạn còn
dạ em đây thầy ơi.
Khoa có nghe thầy không?
Dạ nghe thầy.
Thầy nói là một số bạn khác có những bạn khác mới vô á, mình tắt mic cho thầy để không thôi là sẽ bị ồn lớp đó. Tắt mic cho thầy. Vậy là Khoa có đúng không? Thầy gọi một số bạn thôi, tại hình để thầy gọi canh thử thấy bạn kia trả lời trả vốn. Ok, thank you Khoa. Khi nào thầy gọi nói lại, khi nào thầy gọi đến tên các bạn làm ơn mở mic lên. Ok, trả lời câu hỏi hoặc là say hello to teacher. Rồi những bạn mới vô như là Xuân Thanh, Hữu Phát tắt mic đây là mình học ở đây là mình học trong nhóm chứ không phải là mình học livestream, nên các bạn phải tắt mic chứ không thôi lớp mình rất là ồn, được chưa? Rồi, ok, we start again, bắt đầu lại nha. Okay, so please have a look at this PowerPoint slide. The first question, thầy sẽ gọi một số bạn, thầy trả lời cho thầy những câu này coi mình nắm bài đến đâu rồi. Okay, so we start the lesson by reviewing first. Okay, number one, what food, okay, what molecule does saliva start to digest? Why is it important to begin digestion of this molecule in the oral cavity? Okay. Đào Anh Khoa, can you unmute yourself? Đào Anh Khoa có đất không?
Yeah, hello teacher.
Okay, so can you answer question number one? Can you see the slide? Question number one on the slide. What molecule does saliva start to digest?
I can see, but sorry teacher, I don't know how to answer this question.
You don't remember the old lesson. Okay, thank you Khoa. So another student please. Gọi bạn khác nha. Okay, Huỳnh Diệu Vi. Khoa unmute, Khoa mute yourself. Khoa tắt mic đi. Huỳnh Thị Diệu Vi, are you there? Huỳnh Thị Diệu Vi. Can you see the question? Can you answer number one, please? Diệu Vi, can you speak up a little bit? Speak louder. Không thấy slide hả? Ủa, bạn Diệu Vi sao không thấy slide của thầy? Thầy đang share slide mà. Diệu Vi có thấy slide của thầy không? Các bạn ít tương tác với thầy quá. Lâm Mỹ Huyền. Lâm Mỹ Huyền có đó không? Rồi thầy nhắc lại, có một số bạn gọi tên đến không thấy nghe trả lời trả vốn gì hết. Ở đây là một cái lớp học meeting, là thầy gọi đến mình phải mở mic liền mình trả lời. Còn mic các bạn có nhiều bạn nói không có nghe gì hết, kiểm tra lại mic xem. Mình học là có khi thầy hỏi trả lời hai chiều chứ không phải là livestream là thầy nói một mình thầy nữa. Ok, Cao La Phương Đông. Cao La Phương Đông không có luôn. Mở mic đi, giơ tay gì? Thầy gọi tên đến thì mình mở mic đi, mình unmute. Các bạn có biết dùng cái lớp học này không vậy? Cao La Phương Đông, unmute yourself. Bạn không biết unmute, thiệt luôn đó. Thầy gọi bạn khác. Hà Quốc Việt. Hà Quốc Việt có đó không?
Dạ thầy ơi.
Rồi, trả lời cho thầy câu số 1.
Dạ không, anh Khoa thầy, có mấy bạn không hiển thị lên cái slide đó thầy.
Không biết gì lên cái slide là thầy chưa có share mà, giờ thầy quay lại thầy đang hỏi các bạn
Không
thôi.
phải, có mấy bạn hiển thị là đang kết nối rồi đó thầy, chứ không có hiển thị cái hình mặt thầy hay là cái gì hết thầy.
Ủa là sao? Là mấy bạn đó chưa vô được hả?
Nó chỉ ghi là hoạt động ghi đã bắt đầu, cuộc họp này đang được ghi âm mà không có hiện lên hình mặt thầy đó thầy. Có mấy bạn vô không được.
Đâu có cần hiện hình mặt thầy đâu. Thấy được slide là được rồi. Có thấy slide được không?
Hình như là không thấy slide luôn này.
Không thấy slide luôn hả? Để thầy hỏi lại một số bạn coi. Rồi ok, nhiều khi lớp mình đông quá. Rồi hồi nãy bạn có thấy slide của thầy không? Trả lời thầy câu số 1 để thầy đi hỏi lại. Nhiều khi là lớp đông quá mấy bạn kia không vô được á. Can you answer number 1 please? Question number 1.
Em không thấy slide ơi.
Rồi giờ thầy mở slide lên lại nè. Những bạn kia không vô được thì chờ thầy một xíu thầy hỏi lại xem sao. Thầy thấy là trong cuộc họp đến 182 bạn vô được rồi mà. Ok, thì thầy share slide lại nè. Ok, Khoa dừng đó nha, thầy share lại slide. Rồi thấy chưa? Các bạn đã thấy slide chưa? Rồi thử trả lời cho thầy câu số 1 xem. Có nhớ bài hay không? Okay, so first question. What molecule does saliva start to digest? And why is it important to begin digestion of this molecule in the oral cavity? Ủa, đâu hết trơn rồi. Không có bạn nào trả lời được câu số 1 hết. Bạn Khoa đâu rồi? Thôi, thầy dừng chia sẻ lại. Rồi bây giờ trước khi bắt đầu bài thầy điểm danh đi. Các bạn không ai tương tác với thầy hết. Thầy gọi tên bạn nào bạn đó mở mic lên và nói hello thôi. Ok. Bùi Thế Kiệt.
Hello teacher.
Ok, thank you. Cao La Phương Đông.
Hi.
Ok. Châu Ngọc Phụng.
Dạ có.
Ok. Say hello. Châu Văn Hiền Nhân.
Hello.
Ok. Chu
Hello,
Quang
teacher.
Thắng.
Hello teacher.
Đàn Thị Giáng.
Hello teacher.
Ok. Đặng Thị Thu Trang.
Hello teacher.
Yes. Ok. Đặng Trần Hồng Phúc.
Hello teacher.
Yes. Đào Anh Khoa.
Hello teacher.
Đào Trúc Minh Tú.
Hello teacher.
Yes. Đinh Phạm Trúc Vi.
Yes.
Ok. Đỗ Diệp Thành.
Hello, teacher.
Very good. Okay, so you can all hear me. Okay, so when I ask you questions, please unmute yourself, okay, or click raise hand. You can click raise hand button and answer my questions, okay? So we have no problem. I just start the lesson again because no one responds to me. I don't know you guys can listen to me or not. Now we start again. Okay, so these are the questions, okay? You have to try to answer these 7 questions by yourself, okay? Because I asked these questions, but no one of you, okay, can answer. So you have to review by yourself and answer these 7 questions, okay? So question number 1. Question number 2, what are the 5 basic flavors that stimulate taste buds? Try the answer, okay, in the textbook. Number 3, what does saliva do to food molecules so that you are able to taste them? Number 4, how many teeth should an adult have? So you check that whether you can answer these 7 questions. If you can answer these 7 questions, that means you understand and you remember the old lesson, okay? Question number 5, name 4 types of teeth and describe their location in the mouth. Number 6, name 3 layers of a tooth from the outside to the inside. 7. What causes cavities? And what can you do to prevent cavity? So these are answers to those 7 questions, okay? Saliva starts to digest. Okay, I share again. Okay, see it? Starch is a large molecule. Sweet, sour, bitter, salty, and umami, okay, are the 5 basic flavors of food. Question number 3 can be answers like this one. Saliva, okay, liquefies food. There are 32, okay, an adult has 32 teeth. So from the outside to the inside, okay, listed from front to back, we have different types of teeth. We have incisors, canines, premolars, and molars. Okay, we start from the front to the back. Okay, there are 3 main layers of a tooth. A tooth has 3 main layers, okay? From the outside to the inside, we have enamel, dentins, and pulp, right? Question number 7. Bacteria produce acids that break apart enamel, leading to decay of the tooth. So if you want to prevent cavities, you have to brush your teeth frequently, okay? Okay, so I have the first question for you. So you choose A, B, C, or D, okay? Number 1, you can tell if a food is sweet or salty because you have A, B, C, or D. Let me show you. The right answer is C, because you have taste buds in your mouth, okay? Question 2, teeth are used for tearing food. So which kind of teeth are used for tearing food? D. Canine. Canine teeth are used for tearing food. Question 3. The teeth at the very back of the mouth is called molars. Okay. 4. The inner part of a tooth that contains nerve endings is called pulp. So these are some more questions for you to review by yourself, okay? You can take a picture of my PowerPoint slide. Try to answer these 6
Thầy
questions.
ơi, không thấy slide thầy ơi. Không thấy những cái slide câu hỏi thầy.
Các bạn còn lại có thấy không hay là cả lớp không thấy luôn?
Dạ, cái màn hình của em nó bị đứng ở ngay chỗ revision đó thầy.
Không có thấy thầy ơi.
Em
Không
chỉ
ai
thấy
thấy
cái
rồi.
con chuột di chuyển á thôi à.
Từ từ. Thầy vẫn đang ở revision mà. Tại vì lớp mình đông quá, từ từ nha. Rồi thầy chia sẻ lại nha. Nhiều khi đông quá nên lớp sẽ bị đứng hay là gì đó. Rồi các bạn thấy chưa? Mở mic lên nói xem.
Dạ rồi.
Bây giờ ý nói là thầy đang ôn tập thôi, chưa có vào bài mới. Các bạn cố gắng là những câu hỏi này ráng tìm trả lời cho bằng được. Những câu hỏi này là mình đã ôn tập được bài, được chưa? So these are the 6 questions from the old lesson. You have to find the answers by yourself. Thầy hỏi không ai trả lời hết, thì thôi các bạn tự tìm câu trả lời vậy. Trong sách của mình có, được chưa? Rồi, next. Đây là answers nè. Nhưng mà thôi các bạn tự tìm đi nha. Okay. And you try to label these organs. Mình tập mình label, nhớ những cái vị trí của những cái cơ quan này để mình label được là xong. Được chưa? Đây là bài cũ thôi. This is okay. The old lesson. I just want to review a little bit. Mình chỉ ôn tập một chút xíu vậy thôi, các bạn label như thế này là được. Rồi, tiếp theo, circle the correct answers. Number 1, protein is first digested in the stomach, right? Number 2, the pyloric sphincter separates the stomach from the small intestine. 3, peptic ulcers are caused by a bacterium. 4, mucus help to protect the lining of the stomach from acids. And mucus is alkaline. Okay. Những câu hỏi này cũng có thể tìm được ở trong sách của mình thôi. Các bạn ôn tập. Now we continue with the next part of the lesson. Okay. We study the accessory organs which help with digestion. Okay, so we have this one. Okay, so after food leaves your stomach, it goes to the small intestine, right? Most digestion takes place in the small intestine with the help of accessory organs. Accessory means extra. Your body needs extra organs to help with digestion. But food doesn't go to those organs. Instead, these organs send molecules to the small intestine to add in the digestions of certain food molecules. Okay, so after food leaves your stomach, okay, and food will enter the small intestine, right? Look at this one, the small intestines, and this is where most digestion takes place. Okay, next, there are some accessory organs which are involved in the digestion of food, such as liver. Look at this one, this is liver, gallbladder, right? So these accessory organs will send molecules to the small intestine to help with digestion, okay? Now we move on. So let me tell you again, liver. So today we talk about accessory organs, and these are, okay, the circle ones are accessory organs. Liver, liver, gallbladder, bile ducts, right, and pancreas. They are called accessory organs because they help with the digestion of food. And remember, food does not go there, okay? So first, let's talk about the liver. This is the liver, okay? The liver is a large round organ, right? So where is it? The liver is located under the diaphragm, okay? Diaphragm, on top of the stomach, right? This is the location of this body organ. Functions. So what is the function of the liver? What does the liver do, right? The liver produces, okay, aqueous liquids. So the liver will produce bile. Bile is aqueous liquids, okay, which helps separate fats. Take a look at this one, okay? I say again, the liver will produce bile. Bile is aqueous liquids. Greenish liquids, okay, which helps separate fat. And the liver, okay, also helps detoxify food. And the liver also stores glycogen, okay, glycogen, the sugar, a type of sugar, right? Okay, so let me read again. The liver is a large round organ that lies under the diaphragm and on top of the stomach. Okay, so you take a look at this liver. Here, this is the liver. You see the liver? So we talk about the location of the liver, okay? So it lies under the diaphragm here. Okay, so it lies under the diaphragm. On top of the stomach. This is your stomach, right? So the liver, okay, lies on top of your stomach. See? The liver performs many different functions. One of its important function is the production of bile here. Okay, the liver helps produce bile. And what is bile? Bile is a greenish liquids. You see it? Greenish liquids inside. Okay, so bile is a greenish liquids that separates fat into small droplets. Without bile, fats tend to float as one big layer. Okay, so this greenish liquid will help, okay, break down the fats molecules, right, into smaller molecules. The fact that the droplets are smaller makes digestion easier. Okay, so smaller molecules will be absorbed, okay, more easily. If this layer were not broken into smaller pieces, the enzymes that digest fats would take too long to digest all the fats. To better understand the function of the bile, imagine, okay, I go to the next slide. Okay, so what is it? It is fat, right? And this is dishwashing soap. So if you want to understand the function of bile, imagine a greasy layer of fat that coats a cooking pan. You add dishwashing soap water to break up and wash away the greasy layer. Bile acts just like soap by breaking up fat into small pieces. Okay, so this is fat inside. Okay, this is a pan, and this is fat inside the pan, right? This washing soap. So people usually compare bile with this washing soap. Okay, so if you want to, like clear, if you want to clean, okay, want to wash the pan, you need this washing soap. You add some drop of this washing soap, okay, to wash the pan, to break down the fats molecules, right? So just like this washing soap, bile will help break up fats into small pieces. Okay, so we have like a comparisons here. Okay, if you want to remember the function of the bile, think about the function of the dishwashing soap. If you want to, okay, wash, okay, the greasy pan, so you need some drops of dishwashing soap. You add it in the pan and you break down the pan, and then the pan is clean again, right? So just like the function of the dishwashing soap, bile helps break up fats into small pieces. Okay. Now we move on to the next accessory organ. This organ is called the gallbladder. So let's talk about the function of the gallbladder first. The gallbladder helps stores and concentrates bile. Right. Okay. The liver doesn't actually send bile directly to the small intestines. Instead, after the liver makes bile, the bile is sent to the gallbladder, right? The gallbladder is a small organ located under the liver. So the gallbladder is here. See it? This is the gallbladder. Okay. So I say again, the gallbladder is a small organ located under the liver. This is the liver, as we, okay, the liver is here. Number 1 is liver. Number 2 is the gallbladder, okay? And this is the stomach, right? Stomach number 3, okay? The gallbladder is a small organ located under the liver. The gallbladder concentrates. What does it mean concentrate? To take extra water out of the bile and stores it until it's needed, right? So the function of the gallbladder is to store and concentrate bile. Okay, so the bile will be stored here. Bile will be stored here, right? Okay, so when food is present in the small intestines, the gallbladder contracts and sends bile along a duct called, okay, a small tube to the small intestine. So you have a look at this one. This is the bile ducts. Can you see the bile ducts? Okay. So when food is already in the small intestines, okay, the bile will send, okay, sorry, the gallbladder will send the bile, okay, through the bile ducts to the small intestine, okay, to help digest the food. In the small intestines, the bile helps to break fat into smaller droplets to be digested and absorbed more easily, okay? Okay. Bile ducts is led from the gallbladder to the small intestine. See the bile ducts here. And we're going to talk about gallstones. So what does gallstones mean? Okay, so before we move on to the next slide, let me tell you again, okay, another accessory organ. So this is called the gallbladder. We talk about the location of the gallbladder. Where is it? Okay, it is, you know, like a small sac which is located beneath, okay, or under the liver or beneath the liver, right? And what does the gallbladder do? The gallbladder helps stores and concentrates bile, okay? So when the liver, okay, produces bile, bile will be transferred to the gallbladder and stored there, okay? So when the food is in the intestine already, okay, the gallbladder will produce the bile, will transfer, okay, the bile to the small intestine to help digest the food, okay? So the bile from the gallbladder will break down the food into smaller molecules, and smaller molecules will be absorbed by the body more easily, right? Now we move on to talk about gallstones. Gallstones are like big swords, crystals that may lodge in the bile ducts or accumulate in the gallbladder. So look at this one. Here. These are gallstones. They are like big swords, crystals that may lodge in the bile ducts or accumulate in the gallbladder. Okay. So here, this is the gallbladder one more time. This is the gallstone. So they might, okay, block the bile ducts, okay, or they might be stored, okay, in the gallbladder. See? Gallstone. Okay. Okay, so next, they often form when a person has too much cholesterol in their diet. What is cholesterol? Cholesterol is a fat-like molecule. And this molecule is found in foods like meat, butter, and eggs. Right. So if you eat too much cholesterol, okay, it might lead to you to have gallstones in your gallbladder. Right. Bile contains cholesterol. The bile inside the gallbladder contains cholesterol, right? Gallstones can be very painful because the crystals have sharp edges and irritates the wall of the bile duct. Okay, so they have very sharp edges and they can irritate the wall of your bile duct and make you feel really painful. Okay, so these gallstones have spines, and it can affect, okay, the wall of the bile ducts. This is the wall of the bile ducts. Okay, so when the gallstones travel through the bile ducts, okay, it can cause pain, yeah, and you feel very painful because these gallstones have edges, have spines, edges, and they will irritate your they will irritate the lines of the bile ducts, okay, and make you feel very painful. Okay, next one. Gallstones can block or prevent bile from going to the small intestines, preventing proper fat digestion. A doctor may break gallstones apart using ultrasound and has gallbladder removed. Here, this is like the ultrasound. Okay, so again, a doctor may break gallstones apart using ultrasound and has, or even like in some more serious cases, the doctor have the patient's gallbladder removed. Okay, the patient gallbladder will be removed in some serious cases. Okay, so if the patient's gallbladder has been removed, that patient, okay, should not eat too much fat, should not consume, okay, too much food which contains a lot of cholesterol or fats, right? Okay, because in that case, okay, there is not much bile, okay, to help with the digestion. So you should care more about your diets. Okay, that patient should care more about his or her diet if his or her gallbladder has been removed. Okay, so that patient has to stop eating food containing a lot of cholesterol, okay, or fats. We move on to the next one. Okay, so this is the next accessory organ of your body. This is called the pancreas. So first one, let's talk about the function of the pancreas. The pancreas secretes digestive enzymes, and these digestive enzymes will break down sugar, protein, and fats. Okay, another accessory organ that sends important molecules to the small intestine to aid in digestion is the pancreas. The pancreas is located near the first portion of the small intestine, just beneath the stomach. Right? Okay, so we talk about the location again. The pancreas is located near the first portion of the small intestine. To break down sugars, proteins, and fats. These pancreas produces digestive enzymes that are used in the small intestine to break down sugars, proteins, and fats. Okay, so these enzymes travel from the pancreas to the small intestine in a watery liquid that contains sodium, bicarbonates, okay? So the enzymes, okay, will be in the form of the watery liquids. And this, okay, liquid is called the sodium bicarbonate. Sodium bicarbonate will travel from the pancreas to the small intestine. Sodium bicarbonate will neutralize acids in the food from stomach, just like mucus. In the last lesson, we talked about the function of mucus, right? Mucus help neutralize the acids in your stomach. So sodium bicarbonate will help protect your small intestines. Sodium bicarbonate will neutralize, okay, the acids inside the small intestine, just like mucus neutralizes the acids from your stomach, okay? Digestion works best when conditions are not acidic. Okay, sodium bicarbonate is important because it neutralizes acids in the food entering the small intestines from the stomach. Sodium bicarbonate protects small intestines from stomach acids, just like mucus protects the stomach. The neutralization of acids by sodium bicarbonate also creates an optional environment, a perfect environment for digestion in the small intestine. Digestion there works best when conditions are not acidic. Okay? So to help you understand the function of the pancreas more, let me repeat, okay? The pancreas also secretes, okay, some digestive enzymes. And these enzymes together with the enzymes inside the small intestines and together with the enzyme from the stomach will help break down food into smaller molecules, right? Will help break down sugar, protein, and fats. These enzymes will be in the form of a watery liquids, and they will be transported from the pancreas to the small intestines. All the enzymes will go to the small intestines, and they will be combined with the enzymes in the small intestines to help with the digestion of food. Okay, and this watery liquid is called sodium bicarbonate. Sodium bicarbonate will help neutralize acids in food from your stomach. Just compare, okay, sodium bicarbonate with mucus. In the last lesson, we talked about the function of mucus, right? Some acids inside your stomach is very strong. So to help your stomach from hurting itself, mucus will be released, right? Okay, there are some cells inside your stomach which release mucus, and mucus will help neutralize, okay, your stomach acids. Okay, so sodium bicarbonate, just like mucus, they will neutralize the acids from the stomach. Okay, and digestion works best when conditions are not acidic. They have to neutralize acids so that they produces the best environments for the food to be digested. Okay, digestion works best when conditions are not acidic. Okay, so just like mucus, sodium bicarbonates are alkaline. They are not acidic, they are alkaline. Okay, move on. So we're going to talk about the regulation of blood sugar. First one, we have the pancreas in the endocrine gland. It secretes two hormones which are important in maintaining homeostasis. Okay, so these are two hormones which are
Sir, you are muted.
Excuse me, I can't hear you.
Teacher, just make a milk. Teacher.
Teacher, turn on your mic. You are muted.
Okay, can you hear me now? I'm sorry. Because someone have muted my microphone. I don't know why. Okay, có một số bạn thầy không biết tại sao thầy nói một hồi xong tự động cái mic thầy nó mute chứ không phải thầy mute đâu. Rồi từ từ. Ủa nãy thầy nói phần nào rồi các em? Để thầy nói lại phần đó.
Phần homeostasis đó thầy.
À đang dừng chỗ đó hả? Rồi.
Yeah.
Rồi để thầy mở slide lại. Không biết tại sao nó tự nó mute thầy. Please wait. Rồi, chờ một chút thầy share lại cái phần homeostasis. Blood sugar homeostasis. Okay, so let's talk about, continue with the regulation of blood sugar. Okay, I said again, the pancreas is an endocrine gland. Okay, so pancreas is one of the important endocrine glands. It secretes two hormones, two very important hormones, which are important in maintaining homeostasis, right? Homeostasis is the balance, okay? This is how your body balance, right? So two hormones, which are insulin and glucagon, okay, will be secreted by the pancreas, and these two hormones will help with the maintenance of blood sugar inside your body. Okay, they help maintain the blood sugar homeostasis. They help, okay, try to keep the blood sugar, okay, try to keep the blood sugar and maintain the blood sugar, okay, levels or the blood sugar rate in your body. Okay, so this is what happens when blood sugar is high. So what happens when blood sugar is high? Can you take a look at this picture? Okay, so when your blood sugar is high, a hormone called insulin. Okay, insulin is a hormone produced by the pancreas. After you have eaten a meal, after you have eaten a lot of sugar, right? Blood sugar or glucose levels begin to rise, causing the pancreas to secrete insulin. Insulin causes the cells to take the sugar out of the food and use it for energy. If the cells do not need all the sugar, the cells will convert sugar into fats. Okay, so I say again, when blood sugar levels are high, the pancreas releases insulin. Insulin causes the body to take up sugar and store it as fats. The blood sugar levels then return to normal. Okay, this is how your body balances. Okay, the homeostasis. So let's take a look at this, and I will help you understand this point further. Okay, so here, after you have eaten something, after you have eaten dinner, lunch, right? After you have eaten a big meal, there will be a lot of sugar, okay, in the bloodstream, okay, and too much sugar in the bloodstream. Okay, so the amount of sugar in your bloodstream will rise after you eat something, after you eat a lot of food, right? Okay, so in that case, the pancreas, okay, will secrete a hormone called insulin, right? Okay, so too much food, too much sugar will stimulate the pancreas, okay, to secrete a hormone called insulin. Pancreas secretes hormone called insulin. Okay, so what does insulin do? What is the function of this hormone insulin? Insulin will, okay, send a message to the cells and ask the cells to take up sugar, right? Okay, and ask the cells, okay, to take the amount of sugar out of the bloodstream. Okay, so I said again, insulin will send message to the cells to ask the cells to take, okay, the amount of sugar, or to take the sugar molecules out of the bloodstream. Okay, and then the blood sugar levels return to normal, right? And the cell can, okay, we have two possible ways. When the cell have taken, okay, the blood sugar out of, okay, I say again, when the cell have taken the blood sugar out of the bloodstream, there are two possible ways. The cells can either use, okay, those carb energy immediately. So the cells can use, okay, the sugar immediately to make energy for your body, or the cell can choose, okay, to store that energy as fat, right? Okay, so excess sugars are converted to fat and store, okay, inside the liver. Okay, you understand this one? Okay, so this is, okay, what happens when your blood sugar is high. Now we move on.
The screen is paused. I just see the regulation of blood sugar for entire time.
Bạn nào ồn quá tắt cái mic. Có một số bạn hỏi thầy câu gì đó.
Dạ, nãy giờ em chỉ thấy cái regulation of blood sugar, chứ mấy cái slide của insulin thì em chưa nghe, là chưa thấy ạ. Ý là em nghe được thầy, nhưng mà cái màn hình nó cứ đứng ngay cái regulation of blood sugar.
Trời chán ghê. Rồi thầy biết rồi, tại vì nó load chậm á. Có nghĩa nó load rất là chậm. Khi nào mà nó không đúng cái slide đó thì các bạn nghe lại nha. Để thầy mở lại. Nó bị load hơi chậm. Giờ thầy load lại nè. Thầy đến cái chỗ insulin rồi, thầy đang giải thích cái cơ chế đó. Mà giờ phải nói lại. Còn không á thì các bạn chịu khó là cái slide nó load hơi chậm thì mình cứ nghe thôi. Rồi load lại chỗ này nha. Rồi thấy chưa nào?
Dạ
Thấy chưa các bạn?
Dạ.
Là thầy mới giải thích xong cái này. Khổ ghê, có nghĩa là cái lớp của mình, thầy nói lại lớp mình nó đông á, dồn vào trong một cái phòng này. Lúc mà thầy học, lúc mà mình làm livestream á thì nó không có bị chậm, nhưng mà thầy sẽ không tương tác được với các bạn, thầy không hỏi được các bạn tới đâu rồi. Còn vô cái lớp này thì mình meeting thì mình làm được 2 chiều đúng không, nhưng mà lại có một cái vấn đề là rất là đông bạn thì sẽ bị load rất là chậm, nên mỗi lần mà load chậm á các bạn mở mic lên nói thầy để thầy biết thầy chuyển qua cái slide khác, được chưa? Rồi thầy mới giải thích xong cái cơ chế này rồi đó. Okay, so I have completed, okay, describing the process. So what happens when blood sugar is high? Okay. Next one. So what happens when your blood sugar is low? Okay. So this is another process. Okay, so when your blood sugar levels are low.
It's lagging again.
Cái gì?
It's
em?
lagging again. Lắc nữa rồi thầy.
Nó vẫn đứng ở đâu?
Đang đứng ở when your blood sugar
Too
is
much
high.
sugar này.
Trời ơi, sao khổ vậy?
Hay là thầy cho các ban cán sự những cái file này xong rồi chia ra cho mỗi bạn tự theo dõi.
Tại biết
Thì-
sao không hỏi, nó có một cái vấn đề là bộ môn của mình đó là không có cho những giảng viên share những cái slide này, tại vì những slide này là mỗi người tự soạn riêng á, tại bộ môn của mình là cũng muốn giữ lại, có nghĩa là giống như một cái bản quyền các thầy cô soạn, bây giờ đưa các em tùm lum để có gì thầy hỏi lại bộ môn ha, thầy hỏi coi có được share không, nếu share được thì thầy sẽ share liền cho các bạn, được chưa? Rồi chứ bây giờ nó cứ đứng vậy bài, còn thôi thì bữa sau thì chắc là thầy chuyển lại livestream. Thầy hỏi chút xíu, hôm bữa livestream nó có bị đứng vậy không?
Dạ không thầy.
Vậy là có những cái lớp lớn như vậy nó phải là livestream rồi, chứ không thôi nó bị đứng hoài. Rồi để thầy share lại cái when blood sugar is low.
Dạ.
Cái meeting nó có giới hạn, cái meeting này có giới hạn hay sao á thầy?
Đúng rồi, tại vì lớp đông á, lớp đông thì nó sẽ bị chậm. Như là nếu mà lớp dưới 200 thì nó sẽ ổn hơn hay sao đó, còn không thì nó sẽ bị chậm á. Mà kỳ trước thầy dạy một cái lớp trên 200 thầy thấy vẫn ổn mà. Lớp I2 không biết hôm nay sao tự nhiên nó bị lốt chậm, chứ bữa trước thầy dạy một cái lớp I2 cũng 200 mấy mà sao chạy slide bình thường, đâu có bị gì đâu. Rồi để thầy load lại cái slide này. Ok, thấy chưa nào?
Dạ rồi thầy.
Rồi, vậy là mỗi lần qua slide mới phải load lại, mất thời gian ghê. Thôi bữa sau chắc là học livestream thì lại không có giao tiếp được các bạn, cũng không biết các bạn tới đâu rồi. Okay, so this is what happens when your blood sugar is low. So again, when blood sugar levels are low, the pancreas releases glucagon. Glucagon causes cells to convert fat into sugar, which enters the bloodstream. The blood sugar levels then return to normal. Okay, so this process is just opposite of the process that I have mentioned before. Okay, so when there is too little sugar inside your body, when you are hungry, right? Okay, so there is no sugar in your bloodstream. Okay, so too little sugar will stimulate the pancreas here. Okay, to secrete a hormone called glucagon. Right, so pancreas in that case, when you are very hungry and there is no sugar inside your bloodstream, so pancreas will release, okay, a hormone called glucagon. What is the function of glucagon?
Thầy ơi, mic thầy tắt nữa thầy.
Trời ơi, hôm nay không biết là cái gặp sự cố liên tục luôn á. Không biết tại sao tự nhiên lúc đó thì load slide không được, lúc thì tự nhiên nó tự động nó tắt mic của thầy luôn. Thầy cũng không biết sao, thôi để ráng bữa này đi, sau có bữa này nữa rồi thầy sẽ gọi là hỏi lại bên bộ phận kỹ thuật ha. Các bạn nhớ là nếu mà slide không load kịp, các bạn có thể theo dõi.
Hình như có đứa nào đang bấm mute on thầy.
Đúng rồi, thầy không biết, nghĩa là nó nói là có một bạn cứ tắt mic của thầy. Sao kỳ?
Nào tắt mic vậy, kỳ quá nha.
Các bạn không có tắt mic của thầy nha. Bạn nào tắt mic mà thầy bật tra ra là thầy phạt đó. Ok, tự nhiên thầy nói có tắt mic của thầy làm gì vậy? Các bạn tắt mic của bạn á, không, nhiều khi bạn mình không biết xài á, tắt mic của bạn chứ không tắt mic của cái người đang nói giảng mà tắt thì làm sao cả lớp mình nghe được. Nghe chưa, mình tắt cái mic của mình, không nhiều khi mấy bạn không biết dùng á. Rồi.
Thằng nào nó phá quá thầy ơi.
Mai mốt đi gặp đại giảng đường nói thầy. Ok, không tắt mic của thầy nha. Okay, so I say again. Okay, so when you are hungry, it's okay, and there is little sugar inside your bloodstream, right? So little sugar will stimulate the pancreas to secrete glucagon. Glucagon will send messages, okay, to the cells and ask the cell. Okay, glucagon causes fat to break into sugar. Ask the cell, okay, to break fat into sugar, and the sugar will enter the blood. Okay, and your blood sugar levels return to normal again. Okay, so this process is opposite of the process which happens when the blood sugar is high, right? So you have to remember when your blood sugar is high, pancreas will secrete insulin, right? Okay, to make your blood sugar level return to normal. And if your blood sugar is low, the pancreas will secrete glucagon, okay, to keep your blood sugar level return to normal. That's it. It's very simple. Now next, let's talk about diabetes. Ủa, nếu thầy để như vậy các bạn có thấy không? Các bạn có
Dạ
thấy
thấy
chưa?
thầy.
Bây giờ
Dạ thấy
bây giờ thầy sẽ không có ính trình chiếu nữa, mình sẽ đi theo từng slide như vậy, nó sẽ load có vẻ nhanh hơn á. Nếu mà thầy ứng nó to lên trình chiếu á, nó sẽ không có thấy rõ. Okay. Now let's talk about diabetes mellitus. Okay, so we have two types of diabetes. Okay, the first type is called type 1. Type 1 is called insulin dependence. So this type, okay, usually happens in children, right? Okay, they usually occur in children and usually begins in children and adolescents, okay, from 11 years of age to 13 years of age, right? So if you have type 1 diabetes, your pancreas are unable to make insulin. That's why, okay, patients having type 1 diabetes, okay, need to take insulin every day, okay, to keep their blood sugar constant, right? To keep their blood sugar normal. And the next type of diabetes is called type 2. Type 2 is called non-insulin dependence. And this type usually begins in late adulthood, okay, in an adult when you reach 50 years of age or from 50 years of age to 7 years of age. So there are some risk factors, okay. If you are overweight, you are more likely to have type 2 diabetes, okay. And if someone in your family, okay, have type 2 diabetes, you might have type 2 diabetes too, okay. So it belongs to genetics, right? So you should keep your weight. You should, okay, keep your weight. Don't get, okay, too fat. If you are too fat or overweight, you might, okay, have diabetes type 2. So in type 2 diabetes, body cells do not respond to insulin, right? Okay, so patients with type 2 diabetes, the pancreas, okay, of those patients would still release insulin, but their body cells do not respond to insulin, right? And type 2 diabetes can be controlled with diets and medication. Okay, so patients with type 2, okay, diabetes can take drugs, okay, can use medication, right? And with the right diets, they should eat a balanced diet, and they should do exercise too, okay, and they should, okay, follow, okay, a very strict diet. So I say again, if patients with type 1 diabetes, okay, they need to take insulin every day to keep, okay, their sugar blood normal, right? While type 2 patients have to follow a very strict food diet, a balanced diet, okay, and they should, okay, follow a right kind. They should do, okay, a right amount of exercise, and they can take some medication too, okay, to keep their blood sugar constant, to keep their blood sugar inside the body, okay, constant and normal. So there are two basic types of diabetes. Next, okay, let's talk about the gallbladder. Okay, so these are, okay, you have to remember the positions of these accessory organs. So today we have talked about gallbladder, liver, right? What else? The pancreas. Yes, we have also talked about the pancreas already. And now we're going to talk about the small intestine. Okay. So let me just wait. Okay, so now we're going to talk about the small intestine. Okay, so as you can see on this PowerPoint slide, the small intestine is 6 meters in length. So the small intestine is 6 meters long, very long, right? And we talk about the some functions of small intestine. So the first function is small intestine will help digest food. This is where most of the food molecules are digested. Okay, so the combination of bile, pancreatic juices, and enzymes in the wall of the small intestine will help digest foods, right? So can you still remember the bile? The bile from the gallbladder, okay, will be sent to the small intestine to help digest the food together with the pancreatic juices. Okay, so when food is in the small intestines, okay, the pancreas, okay, will secrete, okay, the juices to help with the digestion of the food too. And there are some enzymes inside the small intestine. These enzymes will be secreted, will be produced, okay, to help with the food digestions. So we have a combination of bile, pancreatic juices, and enzymes inside the small intestine. All of them will help digest the food. Okay. Next, smaller food molecules pass through cells in the small intestine, then enter the bloodstream and used by cell. And this process is called absorption. Okay, so when food enter the stomach and then leave the stomach, it enters the small intestine, right? Okay, so when the food molecules in the small intestines have been broken down into smaller food molecules, so where do they go? They will pass through cells in the small intestine. Okay, and then they will enter the bloodstream and used by cells. Okay, so in that case, okay, like the food molecules are absorbed by the cell and used by the cells to make energy for your body. Okay, and other food molecules, how about the other food molecules? Other food molecules will enter capillaries. So what do capillaries mean? Capillaries are small blood vessels beneath intestinal cells. Okay, so other food molecules will enter capillaries. Okay, and capillaries will transport these food molecules to larger vessels, which finally lead to the liver. Okay, and these molecules will be stored for later use. Okay, and when absorption is complete, peristalsis. So remember the last lesson we mentioned peristalsis. Okay, peristalsis occurs. Okay, and then peristalsis will push the food waste to the large intestines. Okay. Now I give you some time to digest, okay, this piece of knowledge, some knowledge for you to remember. So we have just talked about the function of the small intestine. Okay, so this is a disease called diarrhea. Okay, so what does diarrhea means? So if food moves too quickly through the small and large intestines, right? Okay, food passes too quickly to the small intestines and then to the large intestines. Okay, it will cause diarrhea, right? And there is too little water which is absorbed. Feces are more liquids, and diarrhea can lead to dehydration. Dehydration is the lack of water, okay, inside your body. Your body will lack water if you suffer from diarrhea. So diarrhea can lead to dehydration and loss of valuable electrolytes. Okay, electrolytes are like sodium and potassium, right? Okay, so now we move on to talk about the regulation of cellular metabolism. Okay, take a look at this slide. Okay, when cells use energy in food molecules, this is called metabolism. Okay, metabolism means, okay, this is the process, okay, when cells use energy in food molecules. The cell either converts the food molecule to a stored form of energy, such as fat, or uses the energy to do its work, such as muscle contraction. Okay, so cells either convert food molecules into a stored form of energy called fat, or cells can either use the energy immediately to do its work. For example, muscle contraction. Okay, so thyroid hormone helps to regulate metabolism. Thyroid hormone helps to regulate metabolism. Okay, thyroid hormones made by the thyroid gland in the neck helps to regulate cellular metabolism. The amount of thyroid hormone in the body is monitored by the pituitary gland. Take a look at this one. Thyroid hormone here. Okay. So thyroid hormones is monitored by the pituitary gland. If there is too little thyroid hormone, the pituitary gland will release thyroid stimulating hormone called TSH. Okay, if there is too little thyroid hormone inside your body, okay, so a gland called pituitary will release thyroid stimulating hormone TSH. Okay, and this hormone, okay, will stimulate your thyroid gland to secrete more thyroid hormone. Okay, TSH causes the thyroid gland to release more thyroid hormone. When there is enough thyroid hormone in the blood, the pituitary gland stops releasing TSH. This is a form of negative feedback. This is how your body balance. Okay, this is called homeostasis, right? If there is too little thyroid hormone, pituitary gland will release, okay, TSH. TSH will, okay, send message to the thyroid gland and ask thyroid gland to produce more, okay, thyroid hormone, and then the level of the. Rồi lại mới có ai tắt nữa, thầy bật lên lại rồi, không hiểu luôn. Thầy sẽ hỏi trường hợp này. Okay, so when the TSH, okay, stimulates the thyroid gland inside your body to produce more thyroid hormone. In that case, the level of thyroid hormone inside your body remains stable. Okay, returns to normal. Okay, next one. If there is too much thyroid hormone inside your body, what happens? The pituitary gland, okay, will stop releasing TSH, right? So in that case, thyroid gland doesn't secrete thyroid hormone anymore, right? Okay, so this process is called homeostasis. This is how your body, okay, keep balanced, right? Okay, so we move on to the next slide. You see this one? Okay, so we're going to talk about hypothyroidism and hyperthyroidism. Okay, so let's take a look at, like the root word hypo. Hypo means below. Các bạn chú ý ha, mình có cái gốc từ ở đây, gốc hypo. Hypo có nghĩa là nó ở dưới cái mức gì đó, còn hyper lát nữa thầy nói hyper là trên một cái mức, vượt mức, còn hypo là nó thấp dưới một cái mức cho phép, được chưa? Mình học cái từ mới, mình nhớ cái gốc từ này để mình dễ nhớ. Ok, so we have hypo. Let's talk about hypothyroidism. Okay, so hypothyroidism means the person has too little thyroid hormone inside their body, right? And in that case, metabolic rate is below normal. Okay, it's not normal, it's below normal. Hypothyroidism makes, okay, most of the infants or children to have cretinism. Okay, cretinism, and this disease can cause infants, okay, to have poor skeletal and nervous system developments. Okay, so their bones are very weak, okay, and they, like their nervous system, okay, do not develop well if they have hypothyroidism, right? And hypothyroidism also make adults become very weak, tired, feel cold, and in some cases they will cause, okay, the adults to gain weight. You will get fat, okay, if you suffer from hypothyroidism, right? Because the metabolic rate is below normal. Okay, I delete this slide. Great. Okay, so let's talk about some causes. There are two main causes of hypothyroidism. Okay, thyroidism. So the first cause is that you may lack, okay, iodine. You may lack iodine in your diet, right? Okay, or the pituitary glands or thyroid glands inside your body do not work properly. Okay, malfunction means those glands do not work properly, right? So these are two main causes of hypothyroidism. Okay, so you should care more about your diet. Okay, you should have more supplements of iodine, okay, in your diets. Next one, let's talk about hyperthyroidism. Hyper is the opposite of hypo. Hyper là nằm trên cái mức cho phép, quá cao. Gốc từ hyper, còn hypo là ở dưới mức cho phép. Okay, so hyperthyroidism, okay, means the person has too much thyroid hormone inside their body. In that case, metabolic rate is very high, right? Okay, so hypothyroidism will make, okay, the blood pressure in your body increase. Okay, will cause increase in blood pressure. Okay, and this disease also cause restlessness. Sorry, this disease also cause restlessness. Okay, and cause the patients to lose their weight. Okay, this is the opposite situation of hypothyroidism. Hyperthyroidism also make, okay, irregular heart rates. Okay, cause the heart, okay, to beat with different, okay, beating, right? Irregular heart rates. Now let's talk about the main causes of hyperthyroidism. So the first cause of this disease is that the patient may suffer from tumors in pituitary or thyroid gland. There are some tumors in pituitary or thyroid gland, right? Or cause number two, body mistakenly stimulates the thyroid gland to produce its hormone, right? So these are two main causes of hyperthyroidism. Okay, thì nói lại hypothyroidism là suy giáp, đúng không? Cái chữ gốc hypo là ở dưới mức cho phép, còn hypothyroidism là cuồng giáp. Thì hai cái này các bạn coi lại coi những cái nó đều nó trái ngược nhau hết, được chưa? Lát hồi về nhà mình coi lại ở trong sách nó cũng có nói hai cái bệnh này, cái suy giáp, cái cuồng giáp, tất cả nó đều trái ngược nhau. Okay, so they are opposites, so you have to review by yourself, okay, in the book. Now next one, let's talk about goiter. Goiter is, okay, a disease related to, like the thyroid gland. So You know, like if the thyroid gland inside your body is enlarged, okay, but it is not caused by cancer, you will have goiter. So goiter is the enlargement of thyroid gland that is not caused by cancer. Remember, okay, not a type of cancer. So when thyroid gland becomes so large, in some cases, a large lump is seen at the front of the neck. Okay, so you can see a large lump at some patients' necks, okay, when they have goiter, right? So goiter can be caused by, first one, too much TSH. Still remember TSH? Okay, thyroid stimulating hormone. Okay, so if there is too much TSH in the thyroid glands, okay, that patient may suffer from goiter. Okay, the second cause of goiter is there is too little iodine in your diet. Iodine is required for thyroid hormone to be produced, right? Okay, so iodine deficiencies occurs in people living in areas having too little iodine in the soil, right? Vậy cái bệnh bướu cổ này, bạn thấy là có một số người ta hay nói bị thiếu iốt, đúng không? Vậy thì hãy bổ sung cái lượng iốt đó. Một số người trong cái thực phẩm hàng ngày của mình ăn uống bị thiếu cái lượng iốt, ok, phải bổ sung cái lượng iốt đó để tránh bệnh bướu cổ, được chưa? Okay, so we move on to slide 32. Let's talk about the large intestines, okay? So the large intestine is the final accessory organ of our today lesson. Tiếp theo là thầy sẽ giới thiệu các bạn đến ruột già. Ruột già là cái cơ quan cuối cùng của bài ngày hôm nay. Sau đó mình sẽ tổng lược lại. Okay. Okay, so let's talk about the large intestines. After the food leaves your small intestine, it goes to the large intestine. The large intestine is 1.5 meters long. Its job is to absorb the water, sodium, and potassium from the food. These molecules are sent into the bloodstream, which takes them to many organs of the body. Okay, so these molecules are sent into the bloodstream, which takes them to many organs of the body. For example, sodium and potassium are sent to neurons. Recall that sodium and potassium are necessary for neurons to send messages. The sodium and potassium help to create the electrical currents that flows along the axon. Sodium and potassium are also important in muscle contractions. After sodium, water, and potassium are removed from the food, what's left is known as feces. 1/3 of the weight of feces is bacteria that occur naturally in the large intestine. That's why it's important for people to wash their hands with soap and water after going to the bathroom. People generally have a bowel movement every 1 to 3 days to eliminate this food waste. When you study anatomy and physiology, you often hear the term BM. BM stands for bowel movements, right? After the absorption of water, sodium, and potassium has been completed, muscle contractions in the large intestine squeeze the feces down into the rectum, the lower portion of the large intestine. There are two sphincters at the bottom of the rectum. The internal anal sphincter relaxes when feces pushes against it. We do not consciously control this sphincter. The internal anal sphincter is controlled by the spinal cord. From the internal anal sphincter, the feces are moved to the external anal sphincter. We consciously control this muscle, and when the external anal sphincter relaxes, defecation or the movement of the feces out of the body occurs. Okay, so just take a look at this slide. There are like some pieces of information of the large intestine that you have to remember. First one, 1.5 meters in long. Right, the function of the large intestine, it helps absorb water and absorb other supplements, right? Like other substances like sodium or potassium. Large intestine will move feces toward anus, okay? And when feces, are moved towards anus, the defecation begins, right? Defecation begins. So there are two sphincters. Still remember sphincters, okay? Inside the anus that you have to remember. The first one is the internal, internal anal sphincter, okay? So you cannot control this sphincter. So this is involuntary. It means you cannot control. This internal anal sphincter is controlled by the spinal cord, and the second sphincter is called external anal sphincter, and we can control this sphincter, okay? So when the external anal sphincter relaxes, defecation begins, okay? And then the digestion of food, the process of food digestions, completes, and defecation begins. Okay, let's talk about another disease, which is called constipation. So if you have a constipation, feces move too slowly through the large intestine, right? In that case, too much water is absorbed, okay, and it will cause dry and hard feces. Okay, so constipation could lead to appendicitis, okay, and in some more serious cases, it can cause peritonitis, okay. So let me tell you again, constipation. So you can look at the box in your book, okay. If defecation doesn't occur regularly, more water is absorbed from the fecal matter than normal. Okay, so more water is absorbed. So what happens if more water is absorbed? This results in constipation, right? So constipation is difficult in the removal of feces because there are too solids, they are too hard, dry solids. Constipation can result in serious problems such as appendicitis. Okay, the appendix is a small pouch or sac that attaches near the beginning of the large intestines. The job of the appendix is unknown. Constipation can eventually push feces backward into this area. The bacteria in the feces cause fluids to accumulate near the appendix. If the appendix bursts, the inside of the abdominal cavity can become infected with these bacteria, resulting in a serious disease called peritonitis. Okay, so there are two diseases which are related to the large intestine that you have to remember. First one, okay, a very serious case is called appendicitis, and the second one, the more serious one, is called peritonitis. Okay, and constipation is just another disease, okay, related to large intestine. Okay, so now we get back to this slide again. Okay, so now I will ask you some questions to see whether you remember the things that I have told you already. Okay. Now please have a look at this one. Okay, so when I call your name, please unmute yourself. Okay. So the first question for you is, where does food go when they leave the stomach? Okay, and can you name some accessory organs, okay, which do not come into contact with food? Okay. Rồi bây giờ thầy sẽ hỏi check một số bạn. Bạn thử trả lời cho thầy những câu này. Một số câu, okay. The first question is, where does food go when it leaves the stomach? Right? Okay, when does food go when it leaves the stomach? And can you name some accessory organs which do not come into direct contact with food? Okay. Okay, so Đặng Trần Hồng Phúc. Bạn ơi, Đặng Trần Hồng Phúc có đó không?
Hello teacher.
Rồi, bây giờ nghe thầy hỏi cái trả lời ha, là những cái câu trả lời trên cái slide thầy vẫn để luôn á, em cứ tập trả lời cho mình nhớ bài, ok? So the first question for you, where does food go when it leaves the stomach?
Teacher, when food leaves the stomach, food enters small intestine.
Yes, okay. So can you name some accessory organs which do not, like come into direct contact with food?
Some accessory organs will not contact our liver and gallbladder.
Okay, so one more question for you. Rồi câu này là thầy không show slide nữa, em thử trả lời coi anh nhớ không nha. Cứ bình thường thôi, trả lời được thì mình cứ trả lời chứ thầy đâu có lấy điểm gì đâu, đúng không? Coi như là mình đóng góp cho trong cái bài học của mình để mình nhớ thôi. Okay, so the liver. Let's talk about the liver first. Can you tell me the location of the liver inside our body? So where is the liver? Vị trí của nó là ở đâu? Where is the liver?
The liver is below the gallbladder.
No.
On
No. The liver is actually above. The gallbladder is okay. So the liver is. Này, con thấy lớn nhất of the liver. Okay, the liver is below. It's under the diaphragm. Under the diaphragm. Nằm ở dưới cơ hoành. And it's on top of the stomach, right? It's a large brown organ under diaphragm. Diaphragm. On top of the stomach. Look at this picture, right? Okay. So where is the gallbladder?
The gallbladder is below the liver in
Yes.
And it's
Good.
It's next to the stomach.
Yes. Okay. Just remember the liver is on top of the stomach, right? The gallbladder is under the liver. Nãy em nói là gallbladder, liver ở dưới gallbladder là sai rồi đó. Cái đó nó nhỏ hơn, nằm ở dưới. Ok. Cái túi mật của mình nằm ở vị trí nhỏ, nằm ở dưới gan chứ. Ok. The liver is on top of the stomach and the gallbladder is under the liver. Okay. So okay, thank you. Rồi, cảm ơn bạn.
Yes.
Vậy thôi. Okay, so remember, so these accessory organs, food does not go to these accessory organs. They just help to digest food. They will secrete like more substances, more molecules to help digest food, and they do not contact they do not have direct contact with food, because food is inside the stomach, and then food travels to the small intestine, right? So liver, gallbladder, bile ducts, and pancreas, they do not in direct contact with food. Okay, so please have a look at this slide, okay, and try to answer my question. Rồi hãy vẫn để sao ở đây các bạn tập trả lời nha. Bùi Hữu Nghĩa, có đó không em?
Yes, teacher.
Okay. Rồi bây giờ thầy hỏi sao trả lời nha. Thầy vẫn để cái slide ở đây, mình trả lời theo thành câu cho nhớ bài, okay? So let's talk about the liver. So can you tell me the location of liver? Where is the liver?
The liver is about the gallbladder.
It's above the gallbladder, yes, and it's under.
Next to the stomach.
No, not next to the stomach. On top of the stomach.
Yeah.
And it's under the diaphragm. Under the diaphragm. Okay. Now, can you tell me the function of the liver? So, what does the liver do?
The liver.
Look at the picture. Yes, look at the slide. What does the liver do?
The liver. The function of the liver is produced by.
The liver produces bile. Okay, so bile is a greenish liquid. Okay, which help digest the food, right? Which helps separate fats and help digest the food molecules. What else? What is the next function of liver?
Secret through hormone.
Okay.
Like insulin and glucagon.
No, these two hormones are secreted by the pancreas. Bị nhầm rồi, cái đó là pancreas. Sao tụi khác mình đang nói gan mà. Nè, Hà vẫn còn để cái slide nè. The next function of the liver is to detoxify food. Detoxify food, okay?
Yes.
And the next function is to store glycogen. Okay, you see? Glycogen is stored inside the liver, right? There are three main functions of the liver. Thank you. Rồi, cảm ơn bạn. Next one. Đào Trúc Minh Tú. Đào Trúc Minh Tú, please.
Yes.
Okay, so can you have a look at this slide? How can you understand this slide? People usually compare facts, okay? People usually compare bile with dishwashing soap. So how can you explain this line?
I think the function of the bile is the same like the dishwashing soap. It breaks up fat into small pieces.
Very good. So for example, you have the frying pan, right? And your frying pan is very dirty. It's coated with fat, right? So how to clean the pan? How to wash the pan? You need dishwashing soap, right? And this washing soap will help break up, okay, the fats and help clean your pans. Okay, break up the fat and wash your pan. Just like this washing soap, okay, bile, okay, will help break up fat into small pieces, okay, and help the food molecules to be digested, to be absorbed better. Understand? Em hiểu cái này không? Em hiểu cái so sánh này đúng không?
Yeah.
Rồi, thank you. Tốt. Đó, bật mute trả lời vậy thôi, mở mute trả lời cho thầy thôi, mình trả lời được là mình nhớ bài. Về nhà lát hồi các bạn học lại cũng nhanh hơn, ok? Now let's talk about the gallbladder. Gallbladder nha. Chứ không phải có mình thầy nói không. Các bạn cũng phải nói và các bạn cũng phải nhớ bài chứ, đúng không? Đàn Thị Giáng. Unmute yourself.
Yes, I hear.
Okay, so let's talk about the gallbladders. First, can you tell me the location of the gallbladder? Where is the gallbladder?
The gallbladder in front
above or below the liver. Above or below the liver. Phía trên hay phía dưới gan nè?
below the liver.
Very good. The gallbladder is below. Okay, it's a small sac. Túi nhỏ đúng không? A small sac. Okay, below the liver. Very good. So what is the function of the gallbladder? What does the gallbladder do?
The gallbladder do store and concentrate bile.
Yeah, stores and concentrate biles. Okay, and then when is the bile used? Vậy mật được sử dụng khi nào? Túi mật thì đúng rồi, nó chứa mật rồi. Vậy khi nào mật được dùng? When the bile is used? When there is food inside the small intestine, right? Remember, food leaves the stomach and food enters the small intestine, right? So when food is inside the small intestine, okay, the gallbladder will secrete bile, okay, and bile is led from the gallbladder to the small intestine to help with digestion of food. Hiểu không? Là thức ăn ở trong đâu? Trong ruột non trước đúng không? Xong rồi cái túi mật nó mới tiết mật ra, thì mật cũng di chuyển qua một cái tuyến gọi là tuyến mật đi đến đổ vô ruột non, được chưa? Và cùng với những cái enzyme trong ruột non đó để tiêu hóa thức ăn, vậy thôi. Được xem?
Yes.
Rồi, cảm ơn bạn. Okay, so I say again. Okay, so when food is already in the intestine, right? Okay, so the gallbladder, in that case, the gallbladder will secrete, okay, bile. Bile is a greenish liquid, right? Okay, so bile will be transported through the bile duct, okay, to the small intestine. So bile will enter, okay, the small intestine too, to help with the digestion of food, okay, together with the enzymes inside the small intestine, okay, bile plus enzymes inside the small intestine plus enzymes, okay, from the food, which comes from, okay, the stomach. Together they will help digest the food. They break the food molecules into smaller molecules, okay, and remember, smaller molecules are better absorbed, okay, by the body. Now let's talk about gallstones, okay. Rồi một bạn nói cho thầy nghe về cái sỏi mật nha. Việt, are you there? Đó, cứ communicate với thầy đó. Không nói được thì thầy sẽ giúp cho các bạn nói từ từ. Mình sẽ ráng nhớ được bài luôn. Ok. Hà Quốc Việt, are you there?
Hello, teacher.
Okay, so let's talk about gallstones. Okay, so what are gallstones?
Gallstones are like a big set sphincter that may clot in the bile duct or accumulate in the gallbladder.
Okay, so what causes gallstones? What causes people to have gallstones? Hiểu ý thầy không? Có nghĩa là tại sao dẫn đến bệnh mình bị sỏi thận ở bên sỏi mật nào? Cái nguyên nhân nào dẫn đến sỏi mật? What causes patients to have gallstones? Ý thứ hai em.
Because they often form when a person has too much cholesterol in their diet.
So what is cholesterol? Cholesterol can be found in foods like
it's a fat-like molecule found in food like meat, butter, and eggs.
So if a person is too much amount of cholesterol, okay, too much amount of meat, if you eat meat, butter, eggs a lot every day, okay, you will be more likely to have gallstones. Understand? Okay, yeah. Because bile contains cholesterol, too much cholesterol, okay, in the gallbladder, okay, it will cause gallstones. Okay, so another question for you. Why do gallstones cause pain, okay, inside the gallbladder and inside the bile ducts?
because gallstone can be very painful.
Why? Why
And
are gallstones painful?
because because the gallstone have sharp edges.
Very good. So, so when these gallstones travel through the bile ducts, what happens?
It irritates the wall of the bile duct.
Yes, they irritate the wall of the bile ducts and cause pain to the patient. Understand? Very good. Okay, so what happens? So, you know, like what do gallstones do to the bile? What do gallstones do?
The gallstone can block and or prevent bile from going to the small intestine and prevent
No. This one we say intestine.
intestine. Sorry.
Yes, small intestine. So gallstones can block or prevent bile from going to the small intestine. So how can we treat gallstones? How can a doctor treat gallstones?
The doctor can break the gallstone by using ultrasound.
Ultrasound, good. Or in some serious cases, the doctor might ask, okay, the gallbladder of that patient to be removed.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So if a patient's gallbladder is removed, what should that patient pay attention to?
The patient should not eat too much fat.
Why?
Because
that patients not eat too much fat? Can you give me a reason why?
Because it contains cholesterol, and cholesterol means gallstone, and too much fat means too much gallstone, and it will get disease.
Okay, so let me tell you. So if that patient's gallbladder is removed, right? There is no bile anymore, right? Okay, there is no bile. So because your gallbladder is removed already, so there is no bile to help with the digestion of food. Okay, and if you eat too much cholesterol, so cholesterol is fat. Fat needs bile, to help with to break fats down into smaller pieces, right? So in that case, if you eat too much cholesterol or fats, and there is not enough bile, there is no bile, to help with the digestion of fats, it will cause, dangerous, will cause danger to your body, understand?
Yes, teacher.
Okay, thank you. Next one. So let's talk about the pancreas. Thank you. Cảm ơn bạn. Khu Thanh Vi, let's talk about the pancreas.
I'm here, teacher.
Okay, so can you tell me the functions of pancreas?
Well, the pancreas secrete the digestive enzyme to break down the sugar, protein, and fat.
Okay, so so this is in the form of watery liquids. So what is the watery liquid called? What's the name of the watery liquids of enzymes?
The water liquid called sodium bicarbonate.
Sodium bicarbonate, good. And where does the sodium bicarbonate go?
They will go to the small intestine.
Intestine.
Yes.
So yes, the sodium bicarbonate will travel from the pancreas to the small intestine. Okay, so what is the function of sodium bicarbonate?
The sodium protect the small intestine.
So just like mucus protects stomach, okay?
Yes.
So sodium bicarbonate will help neutralize acids in food, okay, from stomach. So when does digestion work best?
The digestive work best when they don't have acids.
Yes, very good. Thank you. Good answers. Thank you, girl.
Yeah, thank you, teacher.
Next. Okay, let's talk about the regulation of blood sugar. Okay. Lê Mỹ Huyền, unmute yourself and tell me about the regulation of blood sugar.
Yes, teacher.
Okay, so let's talk about the regulation of blood sugar. Let's talk about the pancreas. So what is the pancreas and what are the two important hormones which are produced by the pancreas? So the first question is, what is the pancreas?
The pancreas is an endocrine gland.
Yes, endocrine gland, right? So what are the two important hormones produced by the pancreas?
Can you
Can you ask the question again?
yeah, can you
Okay.
repeat the question, please?
What are the two important hormones which are produced by the pancreas? Ngay slide hay còn để mà dễ ỏm. What are the two hormones produced by the pancreas?
Yeah, is insulin and glucagon.
Yes. Okay. Can you tell me the function of insulin and the function of glucagon?
Yeah, the insulin and glucagon have to maintain blood sugar hormone
Homeostasis.
homeostasis.
How do you understand homeostasis?
Homeostasis is very important in sorry.
Okay, so homeostasis is the balanced state, okay?
Yeah.
How your body balances, okay? So for example, like when there's too much sugar, okay, in the bloodstream, which hormone will be released when there's too much sugar in the bloodstream?
Is insulin.
Yes, insulin, okay, will be released by the pancreas, okay? Insulin will ask the cells to take out the amount of sugar out of the bloodstream, okay? And your blood sugar level returns to normal, okay? And how about the function of glucagon? When
Yes,
the sugar,
when the sugar is low.
yes, then the blood sugar is low, okay? The pancreas will secrete glucagon, okay? Glucagon will ask the cells to what? Glucagon will ask the cells. So what is the function of glucagon? Glucagon will ask the cells, send messages to the cells, okay? And ask the cell to what? To use the store glycogen, okay, inside the liver, right? Okay, and to return it, okay, to sugar and release more sugar into the bloodstream, okay? So in that case, your blood sugar rates will return to normal, okay?
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you, teacher.
Đoàn Hồng Nam. Đoàn Hồng Nam, please. Đoàn Hồng Nam, can you hear me?
Okay, I hear you, teacher.
Okay, so can you explain to me again?
12 giờ.
Okay. What happens when blood sugar is high? You look at this, okay, process and try to describe this process again without looking at your book.
Oh, I understand, teacher.
Okay, let's go. Tell me.
When the blood sugar is high, the bloodstream will stimulate to the pancreas, and the pancreas will release
No,
insulin.
not pancreas, pancreas.
Pancreas. Okay, and the pancreas will release insulin to the cell, to the bloodstream, and the cell will check up the sugar. And as the sugar are converted to fat and starch, and with that the blood sugar level in the bloodstream will return to normal.
Okay, so when pancreas release insulin, okay, insulin will send messages to other cell, okay, to take up sugar. So cells can take up sugar or cell can store sugar as fat. Okay, there are two possible, okay, ways. Understand? So cells can choose to take up sugar to make energy for your body, or cells can choose to store sugar as fat. Okay, so cell will take out, okay, the amount of sugar in your blood, and in that way the amount of sugar in your bloodstream return to normal. Thank you. Thank you. Can you unmute yourself?
Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
12 giờ 1 phút.
Bạn nào mới nói vậy? Bạn nào mới nói 12 giờ 1 phút vậy? Hồi nãy á, là thầy vô trễ các bạn 10 phút nên lúc mà khoảng chừng 12 giờ 10 mình kết thúc lớp ha. Thầy biết giờ kết thúc mà. Các bạn đâu cần nhắc đâu. Bạn nào mới nhắc thầy vậy? Okay, next one please. Lê Phạm Ngọc Bích. Lê Phạm Ngọc Bích, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, so can you take a look at this process and describe what happens when the blood sugar is low?
Yes, when blood sugar is low, it stimulates pancreas release glucagon, and glucagon is sent to cells, and it will break into sugar, which enter blood and help blood sugar level return to normal.
Thank you. Yes, it's easy to understand, right? Thank you. Okay, so let's talk about the small intestine. Okay, Mai Phước Minh Khang, can you unmute yourself?
Yes, teacher.
Okay, so what do you remember the small intestine? All the information is still on the slide. So how long is the small intestine? And tell me the function, the basic function.
The small intestine is 6 meters in length.
So what are the function?
The function of small intestine are digest foods.
To digest foods. Okay, so when the food is inside the small intestines, what substances help with the digestion of food? So what happens when the food is in the small intestine?
The bile and pancreatic
juices.
Enzyme in the wall of the small intestine will have to digest food.
Okay, so let me say again, when food is already in the small intestine, okay, so first one, you still remember the gallbladder. So what does